Welcome back. We're going to discuss the surface area of cylinders. One thing we need to know about cylinders is that they have circles for bases, and those circles are congruent. It's very similar to the idea of a prism that has two bases. So if you like, you can refer to it or think of it as a circular prism. And that's beneficial because it means we can use the same surface area formula that we used with prisms. In this diagram, we see the distance all the way across here, across this circle, as 10. So the diameter is 10. The radius is always half of that, so the radius is 5. And the distance between the circular bases here is 16. So the height of our circular prism or cylinder is 16. If I start with the same formula, P, which is the perimeter of the base, H, which is the height of the prism or cylinder, and B as the area of our base, then I can substitute what I know about circles. The perimeter of a circle is the circumference of that circle, or 2 times pi times radius. So I can substitute in place of P 2 pi r. H stays the same. 2, of course, stays the same. B is the area of the base, and that's a circle. So that's pi times the radius squared. So I substitute for B pi r squared. Now I put in the values that I know. So I have 2. Now I have pi. Most people use 3.14, or maybe they use a lot more digits by using the calculator button of pi. But I'm going to use 3.14. Radius, we said, is 5. Height is 16. Plus 2 times pi is 3.14 times radius squared is 5 squared. Now the order of operations will require that we do this part and this part separately and then add those totals. So 2 times 3.14 times 5 times 16 results in 502.4. And on the other part, 2 times 3.14 times 5 squared gives 157. If we add all that together, we get 659.4, and this will be units squared. Now there's another concept that comes into this sometimes, and that is, what if the answer needs to be in terms of pi? That phrase, in terms of pi, means that instead of substituting 3.14 or any other decimal answer or decimal value for pi, we actually leave the symbol there. So at that point of the problem, we had that surface area was 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. And then we substituted some values in, but this time we're going to leave pi there and put the other values in. So we're not using 3.14, we're not using any other approximation of pi. Now we still need to calculate here in much the same way. 2 times 5 times 16 will give us 160, and we have pi beside that. And over here, 2 times 5 squared is going to give us 50, and we have pi beside that. And if we put those together, 160 pi plus 50 pi gives 210 pi. We're still going to have units squared, but this time our answer has pi in it. So that means it's in terms of pi. Now sometimes this is referred to as exact. Now it doesn't mean that these digits here won't ever need to be rounded. It depends on what the other values are. But what it means is we're using the exact value of pi, whatever that may be. We're not using an approximated value. See you next time.